Why exactly is crypto crashing? It should have went up, right? With all the massive bull run predictions, with all the updates we were waiting for, crypto actually went ahead and went down. Now, this is what I'm wondering about. Why did it go down? Will it recover? And what's next for Bitcoin? And that's the big reason. There's explains the reason for the decline, gives a day for the decline to end. I think it's only gonna last a day. Agreed. The big question is, people were expecting a massive bull run, and instead they got the complete opposite. I don't think that's such a bad thing, to be honest. I was kind of expecting that for a lot of these whales to sell, say Bitcoin ETF being the biggest thing. But imagine over the long term, the massive potential of this crypto.
Explanations here from Scaramucci.
The real issue is most people expected Bitcoin to reach 60,000 in a day, and to reach 60,000 in a single day is not going to be an easy endeavor. It's actually going to be fairly complicated. And I feel like a lot of people are missing out in that factor. They're expecting huge price hikes, huge price rises, and instead they get, something that's really not making that big difference that people were hoping for.
Explaining the reason for the decline. And we also have some other things to kind of hit on in this video as it relates to Bitcoin overall, where we are, both positive and negative things right now here in the short term, and a little bit that has to do with the Bitcoin halving. So we've got a jam-packed Bitcoin video for you guys. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we've got a lot to unpack here in this one. So with the downward wave that started after the approval of Bitcoin spot ETFs, a lot of people are speculating, is this a sell the news situation?
Again, they thought whales sold everything, and the stats do show that. What we saw with a lot of these whales is 400 million, 500 million of these whales actually did end up selling a very large portion of their crypto. So what we saw in the end is like whales selling absolutely insane amounts, like 50%, which is to me incredible. Like they sold over the counter to from the institutions. They sold an extraordinary amount, a real extraordinary amount that nobody ever predicted to happen in that sense. So that's where I find the big problem right now with crypto is a lot of people were expecting crypto to rise, crypto to see a massive wave, and instead we got nothing of that. We saw big institutions, one of the big trustees, sell about 400, 500 million, dump it at the peak, and we saw like 10% drops in a day.
Bitcoin to eventually go down to 38,000. I thought it would happen in late 2023. It never did. So yes, we are getting a little bit of a sell the news event. There are some other fundamental things here as to why Bitcoin is where it is, but in terms of this pullback, this does not cause me to panic at all. In fact, today I went ahead and boosted my dollar cost average number.
So that's good. I feel like it's just a short dip. Over the 5 years, we're still going to be seeing plenty of crypto recovering. So to me, it's not that scary. Large amount of liquidation has also hit cryptocurrency market in the last hour. This was also kind of predicted with all the price runs, all the bull runs we saw. Just imagine the massive waves of crypto that most people didn't notice in that sense. Like this was an absolute cryptocurrency debacle. Like nobody expected this. And here we went ahead and saw this cryptocurrency price hike happening overnight. So for me, it's a pretty normal scenario, if you ask me. Like I'm not too worried about them. I didn't expect too much to happen, and I think that was the big problem for a lot of these cryptocurrencies. But again, tons of plenty other cryptos that a lot of people are still going to be holding, still going to be buying this through this bear market. So while the institutions might have sold, they won't stay in the crypto long term. They might have sold now and might be back at a later date. So now they have sold at a massive discount. So that's not the worst, if you ask me. Like we saw this before in the crypto history. We saw cryptos really being sold, cryptos being dumped. And to me, it doesn't seem like that much of a big of a problem. But to a lot of these small time traders, they lost a lot of money because they kept longing their positions and they were hoping that Bitcoin is going to go down. up. Instead, it went down. So the people are still here. You might call it Thursday, but in the CT we call it Thursday. There's no free rides, and everything is still pretty bullish. I think the institutions are still going to be focusing on crypto right now. It's just not as big as people expected it to be for the short term. If you guys want more content like this, smash that like button. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Until next time, peace everyone.